Some men clean when guests are coming. Other men clean because that's just how they live. Those are two completely different psychologies. You probably know a guy like this. His apartment always looks roughly the same. Not immaculate, not staged, just in order. There's no pile on the chair. No dishes sitting in the sink from 2 days ago. No laundry draped over the edge of the bed waiting to be dealt with. And the thing that stands out, if you've ever noticed it, is that he didn't clean for you. It was already like that. Then there's the other kind, and if you're being honest, this one might be closer to home. The pile on the chair that's been there long enough to feel permanent. The dishes that get done when they absolutely have to. The floor that gets vacuumed when someone's coming over. Life just kind of accumulates, and at some point, you stop really seeing it. Here's what most people get wrong about this. They assume it comes down to discipline, that the man with the clean apartment has more of it, more willpower, more motivation, more of some quality that the other guy just hasn't developed yet. But that's not what's happening. Not even close. What separates these two men isn't effort. It isn't time. It isn't some personality trait you either have or you don't. It's something that runs much deeper than any of that. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it, in yourself or in anyone else. Start with the space itself. Before any explanation, just the honest version of what a man's apartment looks like when no one's watching, when there's no social reason to have it a certain way. Because a man's space, when no one else is in it, is one of the most unfiltered reflections of where he is internally. Not his Instagram, not how he presents at work. His apartment, the counter, the sink. Those things don't lie. When a man stops acting on his environment, lets things pile up, lets dishes sit, lets clutter take over the edges of every room, it almost never starts with laziness. It starts with a quiet disconnection. Something in him has gone passive. Life is just happening around him rather than being shaped by him. The mess isn't the cause of that feeling. It's the evidence of it. And the longer it stays, the more it reinforces the feeling that created it. That's the loop most men don't realize they're in. Now flip it. Think about what's actually happening inside the brain of a man who keeps his space consistently in order. There's a concept called cognitive load. The total mental processing your brain is running at any given moment. Physical clutter isn't neutral. Your brain registers every unfinished thing in your visual field as open, unresolved business. And open business costs mental energy, even when you're not consciously thinking about it. Research out of Princeton found that physical clutter directly interferes with focus and increases mental fatigue. You're not just living in a messy apartment. You're running a heavier mental load all day because of it. You sit down to think clearly, and the room is quietly working against you. That low-level drain, the kind you never quite identify but always feel, that's your environment taxing you in the background. The man with the clean apartment isn't paying that tax. His space isn't draining him. That's a real advantage that costs nothing except a few minutes of maintenance a day. But that's not the deepest part of this. The deepest part is identity. What separates these two men at the most fundamental level is this. The man who keeps his space in order has decided, not in a dramatic moment, not with a resolution or a plan, just quietly, somewhere along the way, that this is who he is. He's the kind of man who keeps his space in order. And because that's part of how he sees himself, the behavior follows almost automatically. He doesn't negotiate with himself about the dishes. He doesn't have the internal debate about whether to deal with it now or later. He just does it, the way he brushes his teeth. It's not discipline, it's identity running on autopilot. The other man hasn't made that decision. He tells himself he's always been messy, that it's just his personality, that some people are wired that way, and he's one of them. And as long as he holds that story, the behavior confirms it. Every pile that forms, every dish that sits, becomes evidence that the story is true. Because men act from the image they hold of themselves, not from motivation, not from discipline, from identity. Automatically, every single day. Here's what most people miss about this. That identity wasn't given to the man with the clean apartment. It was built, through repetition, through small actions that accumulated slowly into a self-concept. He wiped the counter enough times that wiping the counter stopped being a task he had to decide to do and became just what he does. The behavior came first. The identity followed. And once it clicked, once the behavior became part of who he believed he was, it stopped requiring effort entirely. That mechanism works in both directions. The man who repeatedly leaves things undone is also building an identity, just a different one. There's something else worth naming here because it doesn't get talked about enough. Some men are unconsciously attached to the disorder, not because they enjoy it. Most would say they hate it. But the chaos serves a quiet function. It creates a kind of permission to not be fully together, to stay in a comfortable holding pattern where life is still unresolved and the pressure to show up completely is slightly reduced. The messy apartment becomes a way of staying comfortable inside an uncomfortable state. And that's worth sitting with for a moment, because for a lot of men, the mess isn't really about the mess at all. It's not a conscious choice. But it is a real one, and recognizing it is usually the first uncomfortable step. Now here's what actually changes once a man understands this. When he acts on his environment, cleans the counter, empties the sink, makes the bed, he isn't just tidying a physical space. He's sending a signal to his own nervous system. The signal says, I am in charge here. I act on my circumstances. Things don't just happen to me. I handle them. There's a psychological concept behind this called locus of control. Men who operate with a strong internal locus, who genuinely believe their actions shape their outcomes, carry less anxiety, more confidence, and greater resilience when things get hard. And one of the simplest, most immediate ways to reinforce that sense of agency every single day is to take ownership of your immediate physical environment, the one territory you actually control completely. Most of life is unpredictable. Other people, work, money, outcomes, very little of it is fully in your hands, but your apartment is. The counter, the sink, the floor, entirely yours. How a man treats the one domain he controls completely tells you something real about how he relates to himself. And more importantly, it tells him something about himself, whether he's consciously reading that message or not. The last thing worth understanding is this. Cleaning, as a physical act, is one of the most effective ways to shift emotional state that exists. Not the most obvious answer, but one of the truest. When a man is stressed, anxious, restless, sitting still keeps the nervous system activated. But getting up and doing something physical, especially something with a clear start and a visible finish, gives that energy somewhere to go. The task ends. The result is right there in front of him. And something internally settles in a way that sitting and thinking rarely produces. Men who clean consistently have usually figured this out completely by accident. They noticed that after a hard day, after a week of low-grade tension, moving through their space and restoring order to it changed something in how they felt. The external environment and the internal state are more connected than most men ever realize. What you do to one, you do to the other. So look around for a second. Not with judgment, just with honesty. What is your space telling you right now? Not about your cleaning habits, about where you are, about what you've been quietly accepting. Because a man's apartment is a daily message he sends himself about what he believes he deserves, about the standard he holds for his own life when no one else is watching. Most men have never stopped to read that message, but it's been there the whole time. The men who keep their space in order aren't special. They just made a quiet decision somewhere along the way that their environment matters, that it reflects something real, that they're the kind of man who takes care of his space. And that decision, small as it sounds, changed everything that followed.